Hello, this is Justin7 with sportsbookreview.com. Today I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about free plays and meeting rollover. A lot of sportsbooks will have a promotion where if you send $1,000, they'll give you a percent free play. For example, with a 20% free play bonus, once you send $1,000, in addition to having $1,000 to bet within your account, you have $200 of free play money. Now, free play money works differently from regular money, in that once you bet it, if you win or you lose, the money disappears. So even if you win your bet with the free play, the money's gone. So from that point of view, free play money is not worth quite as much as cash. The second thing you have to be aware of when you're collecting a free play bonus is what's called rollover. Rollover is the opportunity for the book to win your money. And what they normally do is they specify how many times you have to roll the money over. Now, if there is, for example, a 5 times rollover, the way most books operate is you take your bonus, which would be $1,000, you add the $200 bonus to it, so your base would be $1,200. On a 5 times rollover, you multiply that $1,200 by 5, and $6,000 would be your rollover requirement. Now, what a rollover requirement means is that you must bet $6,000 in total wagers until you get your money, until you have a right to have this money back. Now, most books will use the lesser of the two risk or the to win amount. So if you're betting a big favorite, say you're betting $100 to win 10, they might only count that as $10 for rollover. Or if you're betting a long shot dog, $10 to win 100, that would still only count as 10 with most books. Now, with all books and their bonuses, you need to read the fine print to make sure that you're getting what you think you are, because some of them are a little bit different. Now, the truth of the matter is, even when these sports books are giving away $200 free for a $1,000 deposit, most players have almost no chance, no expectation of being a long-term winner. And I'm going to show you an example of why the books tend to win against most players. Now, I want to make sure you understand the rollover requirement. If you collect a bonus and you don't meet the rollover requirement, terrible, terrible things happen to you. You're probably not going to see your money, or there'll be some awful penalty. So you need to make sure you understand what the rollover is, or you're going to get screwed. In the example I was talking about, $1,000 deposit, $200 free play, that's a total of $1,200. You multiply that times 5. That means you have to make a total of $6,000 in bets with your money before you're probably going to be allowed to make a withdrawal. Most people are going to lose when they make that many bets. And I'm going to show you another example with this. Now, one way you could meet the $6,000 rollover would be to make 600 bets of $10. And let's say you're an average player and you win half of your bets. You make 300 bets that win $10 for $3,000 in winnings. You make 300 bets that lose $11, because when you lose, you're paying juice also. You generally lose at -110 pricing, means you're losing 10% when you win. Your losing bets mean you lose 3,300. So trying to meet that rollover, just betting randomly at 50-50 propositions, you're going to lose $300 on a $6,000 rollover. So a general rule of thumb is whatever the rollover requirement, the player is going to lose about 5% of that. Now, in this case, you also got a free play bonus of $200. Now, let's say you won half of those bets, and you made about $100 off of that. So you made $100 from the bonus, you lost $300 trying to meet the rollover, and you lost $200 in the whole deal thinking you had a good deal. So in general, sportsbooks are going to bury recreational players. So how do you make money from free plays? Whereas a free play is normally worth about half its value to a recreational player, professionals can get a lot more equity out of it. And one example I'll show you, let's say you have 3 plays, and it doesn't matter what they are. You can parlay those 3 teams 8 possible ways, and the retail price on a parlay is 6 to 1. So what if you split your $200 free play up into 8 different plays, 8 parlays, and you're going to play these 3 teams all possible ways. So you're guaranteed to win one of these 8 plays, and you're guaranteed to lose the other 7. One of these $25 parlays is going to pay at plus 600, so you're going to have a winnings of 150. So already, just by using parlays, you've increased the equity of this free play from 100 up to 150. And the greater the long shot, the greater the plus is on the average play, the more equity you're going to get out of this. Now there are two tricks that a lot of professionals use to meet their rollover without losing as much as I showed you in the example. The first trick is to bet your entire balance on one single bet. Now, why wouldn't you want to do that? Well, what you're doing, you're looking at the total equity. How much money are you going to lose on average in the long term? Now, if, let's say I bet my whole thing and I lose it. Well, I may have lost my money, but I didn't have to meet the rollover. So let's say I do this twice. One time I win my whole balance, the other time I lose my whole balance. When you're looking at these two pairs of free play bonuses I've taken, on the one where I wiped out, I only met the rollover once. So I've skipped out on meeting the rollover 4 more times, and I have avoided losing the equity from that. Whereas on the other one, I made it, and I'll just keep playing it normally until I meet my rollover. Now there's another trick you can do when you're betting, I'll call it just regular betting, to minimize the impact of your losses when you're trying to make rollover. If you want to make a lot of bets that are slightly better than 50-50, let's say if you hit 51, 52%, you still might lose a little bit of money if you're laying retail at 110, but you'll lose less, and that'll lower the amount of money you lose on rollover. And the way you do this is you compare what you're going to be betting at to the market average. Now, how do you figure out the market average? You look at the average prices of the main books on SBR lines. I'm going to show that to you now. Now, anytime you see books that have prices that are off, or at least 5 cents different, there's probably going to be an opportunity to reduce your loss when you're being rollover. Now, if the no big price at Pinnacle is -3, -06, and I can play -3, -110 at Bookmaker, if I were trying to meet rollover at Bookmaker, that is only 4 cents of juice compared to the no vig price on the market. So if shopping, you can reduce the average vig you're paying on each play from 10 cents to 4 cents. Instead of losing 5% of your capital on the rollover, you might only lose 2%, and then an opportunity like that could become profitable. Now there's another way you can reduce the amount of vig you're doing, and that's carefully picking when you place your bets. There's some times during the week when the lines move very quickly. And when they move quickly, some books move faster than others. And this is also called steam chasing. That is, you find a book that moves slowly and you bet there. If you're meeting your rollover at a book that is slow to move the lines, wait until an hour before the games go. And in that 1 hour window, you'll often see some crazy moves on a lot of different games. And it's relatively easy to meet your rollover without actually losing any equity that way. Now there's one other thing you need to think about before you actually start setting money trying to roll over bonuses and make it, and that is, how hard is it going to be to get your money? And there's two things you need to worry about. One, are you going to get paid by the book? And the second is, what kind of fees are you going to pay to take your money out? So always research these before, because it's not like the old days in NetTeller when money came and went super easy. That's all for today. If you have any other questions on any gambling related topics, feel free to send me an email at justin@sportsbookreview.com, or send a PM or a post there, and I'll be happy to address it.